Hello everybody and welcome to levelupyourgame.net. We are going to be in here for the long haul today. We have had qualifiers, we have had a ton of games. I've actually missed out on a lot of them, but here we are today. 16 players remain. One of them, I believe they were going to do a winner takes all. We'll be walking away with €200 here at the Stickmen Warsaw Duel Cup. 16 awesome players. We've got brackets all set. You can check them out on the Tourney CC site. And we are just getting set up for our first game here. But as far as introductions go, I'm Jehar, and actually I'm co-piloting this vessel tonight, which is being so graciously hosted by Level Up's very own Trance. How you doing, man?
Hey man, I'm good. Interesting to see something new for me. So, yeah, hoping for some top games and entertainment.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Warsaw is such a fantastic game. It's been my privilege to be covering a lot of the Warsaw NA stuff. I'm the weird Yankee here right now, so it's only about 6:23 on my end. But I think this will be a really great day, even for people who aren't really familiar with the game. It'll be kind of showing off what it's all about, what it's good for, and these are the best of the best. And everything's going to be best of 3, double elimination through to the grand finals. And we've got a 7-map pool, so we've got a ton of content, a ton of really great hits, a ton of really great matches coming your way. And we're just getting started up here with RBG and Lost in Nirvana's very own dromer. So, I believe it's going to be like toss, pick, but apparently first up is WDM6. And, in fact, this is a very, very cool map. In fact, a favorite of mine. Both of the major items, the Mega Health and the Red Armor, are down at the lowermost tier at opposite ends of the map, but both of them have access to a teleporter, which takes you at mid-level. At the very top of the map, at the apex, if you will, is the Yellow Armor. And even though by the numbers, the Yellow Armor is not, the best item on the map, it is definitely one of the best positions to hold, definitely one of the best places to be in control of. And that's often one of the carrying philosophies of Warsaw maps is that the high power items are really also always the most high risk. I mean, Red Armor is always going to get you battered somewhere. Same thing with Mega Health, and we're going to be seeing a lot of that today.
Ready to fight. 3, 2.
But hey, apparently they're going live, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to be watching RBG as we get all set. And one of the interesting characteristics of Warsaw Duel is that the major items do not come up for the first 15 seconds. So that can initiate a lot of strange occurrences like what we just saw there with kind of a murder-suicide pack. But that's going to be Dromer getting off that first Mega Health. RBG coming back in with Rocket Launcher, getting a quick Gunblade hop up towards Yellow Armor. And he's got a good position here. He can kind of hold off Dromer, but Dromer's coming up the top here, up the ramp with Rockets himself, and RBG is just going to turn it right back against him, take away the stack, and take away the first real frag of the match. So with an escape back through Red Armor coming back up in one more second, RBG pulling together another frag. So Trance, what are your initial thoughts here?
Oh, honestly, it looks interesting. I still have to figure it, what's really happening. The pace is really fast, and I like this. And yeah, it looks good so far, honestly. Just looking forward to get more into it.
Absolutely, and we're going to have plenty of time to do that, but I'm still going to keep my camera on RBG for a little bit longer here as he gets a pickup of Red Armor. Coming back up towards the top of the map, we have Yellow Armor coming up very shortly, and now that RBG has control of the Mega, he's going to know the timing on it. It spawns 20 seconds after the last person who grabbed it pretty much runs out of it. So it's going to be starting up right now. We have 15 seconds to the next Mega. Yellow Armor still in control. The 50 health is going to be a major item for RBG to hold on to, because anytime that Dromer wants to kind of recover from the damage that RBG's been throwing out, that's going to be the place to be. But it's going to be no place to be right now, as RBG is effectively controlling most of the items on the map, leaving with Dromer with very little to work with. But that's kind of the gamut of it. You kind of run the map until you kind of wear yourself out, and it's really going to have to see where RBG kind of pulls back on his own reins in order to, maintain that amount of control. So Dromer looking to wear down the stack a little bit, and that kind of attrition can go a long, long way in Warsaw. And there's even a pickup of Red Armor. RBG down on the health, and we have a frag picked up by Dromer. Going to be switching over to him. He should be able to pick up Mega Health here, and coming back up towards Yellow Armor, in fact, in about 5 seconds. There might be even a fight if RBG wants to hold on to this, but it's going to be a fight not worth having, as it's going to cost him another frag. So very quickly, we have Dromer moving back up. 2 frags on the board, still with 7.5 minutes to play. So as you said, Trans, very fast. Let's It's a very fast game type, and it's the kind of game type where you try to control everything, and of course you can't always. So it's the kind of gameplay that almost forces you to try to overextend yourself, and that can lead to some very exciting play, as we're already seeing here. But I like the fact that this is such a close, tight game already, and that dromer is making some very good headway into making a good comeback. Very good Electro Bolt shock there, and RBG is going to be turning it right back around, maintaining that control. He's a little bit light on the stack, but with the red armor, he'll be picking up a lot of that. And look at this aggression on the red armor after the teleporter. It's going to be a really great place for dromer to take a lot of that advantage away. But it's all going to come down to this Mega. If RBG gets away with this Mega without getting any kind of punishment for it, it's all going to be down the drain. But there's dromer putting in the aggression right when he needs to and taking the frag back. So we still have 5 seconds to red armor, and that delay time, I'm not sure if dromer ever got the timing for it exactly, but as RBG tries to come in with slightly better timing, he's really going to be punishing. So for the first time in a long time, in fact the first time during the entire match, we're seeing dromer with control pretty much everything. But as you can see, the stack is fairly fragile in Warsow, and RBG's rockets are going to be very effective at burning through a lot of that. But that's going to tie it back up 5-5. But here's the thing, dromer's now at 48 health. I mean, he's still going to be able to pick up that red armor, but RBG doing the right thing, kind of hanging back at the red armor spawn. Not quite going in for the pickup, but definitely wanting to damage. But what happened at Mega Health? He's going to be losing out the fight, and even worse, losing out on the item. If he's going to be dying here, it would be definitely best to make sure that dromer doesn't get stacked back up, doesn't get a very strong lead as far as the health and armor goes. But red armor coming back up, he's going to be able to get the grab. RBG is going to be at the other end of the map right now, kind of sitting over the top, looking for that exit through the teleporter as a switch over to him. He's not going to be getting it, though, so he's looking for a fight that really isn't going to be his to pick. And so his positioning was right, but his gestature as far as where dromer was going to be coming out, not quite on target. So it's going to be another trade-off. Yellow armor is going to be available. Dromer isn't quite going gung-ho for controlling that just yet. Might even be leaving it open for RBG to get it. So now that he's gotten the grab, is dromer going to be able to be aggressive and be able to shove RBG back up in his noose? Well, we have a bit of LG, but it's going to be traded either way. RBG's trying to stick back up under the archway there and try to get some extra damage with Raikkonen. And with 9 points of health remaining, he's got the frag, but again, does he have any time to grab any important items in that narrow window? I mean, otherwise, dromer could just kind of roll on through. Even with the red armor pickup, the trade-off to Mega Health might not be in his favor. Yellow armor is going to be a bit of a point of contention. It's only going to be 25 points of armor for him after grabbing the RA. But RBG is going to be having to deal with dromer, having a slightly better stack. He's even got strong rockets at the moment, but they're kind of out of standoff right now, which is actually very good since they're actually tied 6-6. But the rockets cascading harmlessly against the wall. That is the shot that dromer really needed to take control of this, but RBG's got it. He's very weak, however. Still 10 seconds to the next Mega. He's going to have to be scouring around the map for the 25s in order to get anything to work with at this next fight. And a fight it will be indeed. Dromer shows up a little bit early, however, and RBG can get in that initial hit. There's still a rather large window of time between Mega and red armor, so dromer has a lot of time to just kind of beat off a lot of this stack and kind of try to do some attrition damage. But there's nothing at the grab itself, and even after the teleporter, the damage from dromer wasn't quite what it needed to be, so RBG, taking very good advantage of that situation, is able to nail together another frag, and even after the spawn, is able to get into that initial rail. I know it's the Electro Bolt, but I'm a Quaker, so you gotta bear with me. But that's 5 frags in a row for RBG. It's gonna be a rain cut short by dromer. It's still within 3 frags. We've got 3.5 minutes left to go. Such a very close, very tight game, and it's only the first of many. But again, waiting on these items is gonna be absolutely devastating for these guys, as dromer's gonna be able to reap the rewards of what RVD was trying to put together. But he's a little bit light on the pickup, and as RBG comes back up towards the plasma ammo, well, it's going to be turned back against them. Again, RVG's rockets and dromer's rockets have sometimes been betraying themselves. But here comes a lot of really good aggression on the red armor itself. This is a really small, really tight space. Even somebody without the stack advantage can do a ton of damage and pull off that frag. So RVG, with 3 minutes left to go, has to keep these, well, just these couple of frags away from his opponent. He's only at 65 health right now. Mega's going to be given away, and he's still got 8 seconds to play this side of the map before he can really make that red armor happen. But here's the worst thing. He knows that if he sticks out and goes all that aggressive on the red, he ends up losing the red and his life. So he's going to try to maintain what he has in favor of letting go of that stack. But that just means he kind of has to go a little turtle style right now. He cannot give this thing up, but with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go, that is a lot of time to be making mistakes. So we're going to have to see if he can get in any initial damage. A very nice strong rocket direct to the face of Dromer. That'll be weakening him up, and this is where RBG wants to seal the deal, make it happen, and look at this. There's 50 health for him on the other end of it, along with the red armor. That could not have turned around any better for RBG. Now he's looking very well set up for the final minutes of this match. Dromer's got a lot to do. I'm going to switch over to Dromer, in fact, as he doesn't quite have timing on yellow. It's going to be uncontested, but look at this initial rail, not quite hitting, but RBG had the right idea. Question is, now that he missed that opportunity, is Dromer going to be able to capitalize on it? Well, almost. Very almost, but not quite. So what could have been a way for Dromer to get back in on the map has actually cemented RBG's position. So this is going to be a little bit painful for him, but look at these rockets again, betraying RBG. In fact, he kills himself, again opening this thing up to within 3 frags. Nice LG from RBG. Dromer, again, a little bit late on the pickup, but we still have 3 seconds to mega health. RBG is going to be waiting this thing out a little bit. As we see the bracket go on, we're going to be seeing a lot less lag time at the items themselves. It's actually a fairly easy game to kind of get the timing from your opponent. One of the best things about Warsaw, and one of the things is like, yep, these guys actually care about the competitive scene, is the fact that each armor, green, yellow, and red, has a different pickup sound. How awesome is that? Anyway, final minute, 4 frags between them. It's not impossible for Dromer, but it's certainly going to be difficult, especially the way that RBG is playing. He's not really going very aggressive, but he's making sure to do enough attrition damage, enough ninja damage to make sure that Dromer can't just stack up on yellow and just go plus forward against him. He's doing just enough to make it not worthwhile for Dromer. Dromer's able to pick one up, though. He's very weak on health, and actually RBG just turns it right back around on the spawn. Again, a very critical factor of how duels play out in Warsaw. If you make a frag, good for you, but if you're at 40 health or below, well, there's a very good chance that, you know, even with the gunblade, it could just be taken right on back. So a very harsh, very brutal damage setup for the game, but it's what I love. 14-11, 14 seconds left to go. A very close first map. I'm not quite sure what the second one was going to be called, but we're going to be finding out here in just about 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1. Game over.
Oh, and by the way, mad props to the Stickmen, Inane, and everybody else organizing it for making the decision to have one server be where all the streams are served. Very cool. Means a lot less latency between matches is what it comes down to. Oh, transmuted himself. I'm all by my lonesome. All right, guys, what we're going to be seeing, second map coming up here very shortly. They're going to be comparing each other's accuracies. In fact, as the day goes on, I'm going to be comparing them a little bit more myself.
A player called a vote.
I guess I better vote up
over.
WDM12 myself. Yeah, guys, things are going to be best of 3 until we get down to the grand final. I believe at that point it'll either be 2x best of 3 or 2x best of 5. Or best of 7, best of 9. It's just more game is what we want. But yeah, for now everything is going to be best of 3. All right, we're going over to WDM12, a relatively new map, a very interesting one, though. Trance is controlling the camera, so I can't fly around all that much, but essentially it's a large map with the red armor down below, and actually a bit of a choke point. It's at a right-angled intersection with a bit of a drop down from above. Mega is also out in a very large, wide open area on the mid-tier. There is a top tier of the map that allows you to get from one end of the map to the other very quickly. It's probably the quickest point A to point B route, and it also allows you some good tactical advantages. But that being said, very large map with a lot of opportunities for a ton of traps. So we're going to see these guys get ready up here very shortly. Again, mad props to Level Up Your Game and Trance for providing one of the best streams I've seen in a long time. Makes me very ashamed to be living with American internet. And it means that the pressure for all the technical things is off my back. So Big ups for that. So we have Dromer bouncing around here a little bit. RVG as well. And again, this thing is completely up for grabs. I mean, it was a very, very close game on DM6. Dromer just needed to have slightly better rockets when it came down to the close-range fights. And also, there were a lot of opportunities where RVG just like passed right by him, getting a little bit of damage with LG that Dromer wasn't able to respond with. But we're going to be following RVG as we get set up here. It's going to be a fight at the top of the map, but Dromer's got that initial railgun, but he's going to be taking it right back away with 2 slaps from the gunblade, followed up by a bolt from it. Just, that was beautiful. And he took like no damage during that whatsoever. One of the really interesting things about having the 15-second timer on the items is that if you get a frag within that 15 seconds, there's a very good chance that you're going to be a bit damaged. So when your opponent respawns, he's actually going to be stronger on the fight for, say, red armor or mega health, because he's going to have more health than you by having that 100. So, you know, you can see that turnaround very quickly. But even so, without taking any damage, Dromer was able to pull off another frag here on the response, and he's actually waiting for LG right now. Going back over to Dromer, actually. We have red armor coming up, expecting a fight at it. It's not going to be happening. RVG was waiting for weapons elsewhere on the map. That means that Dromer has full control of the items at the moment. It's just going to come down to the hits. Can he actually, you know, make that stack work for him instead of just having to save his life most of the time? So 12 seconds left to red. Dromer's still over on that part of the map, and again, looking for that initial hit on RVG. I really do hope that he's a little bit better at anticipating and trapping here than he was on DM6, just because we saw a lot of missed opportunities there, and it frankly cost him the map. But so far, so good here. He's taken very little damage as of this point, with 10 seconds left to go on Mega Health, but I don't quite like the fact that he's just kind of sitting on the Mega itself. If he can hold on to this area, cool. He's opening up with LG and closing in the distance with the rocket launcher, actually nailing together that frag, not taking all that much damage, actually surprisingly not taking all that much damage, taking far less than what I would have expected, but RVG not showing up at the red armor at all is going to be top of the map. Dromer is still free to enjoy his tasty stack, so RVG breaking away with yellow armor and a plasma gun is going to be trying to do a little bit of damage from a distance. But right now, he knows that he can't really pull much together in a one-on fight. And actually, going forward for the Electrovolt was very, very risky. And in fact, it's Dromer who's making all the hits happen right now. We have some attrition damage going against Dromer, but there's the final shot against RVG, and a third frag picked up by Dromer. Again, red armor, no contest whatsoever. The timing of that was such that RVG only had about 3 or 4 seconds to get over there, so not quite enough time to grab a weapon and go. But then again, Dromer was nowhere near damaged enough to really make that a worthwhile fight anyway, so we need to be seeing the same kind of ninja and attrition damage out of RVG that we saw in DM6, essentially. So Dromer now up 4-1. Essentially full health, a nice amount of armor as well. Traded shots with the EB, but that's going to be 5 frags in a row for Dromer. Coming back in here, we finally have a steal for red armor. Finally, he had a spawn close enough so that he was able to beat Dromer out to it. Now that he's got that red armor, what is he going to do with it? You can see that Dromer's actually being very aggressive right now, going, damn it, I let you get away with the red armor. I cannot let you survive with the red armor. But again, that aggression just kind of betrayed Dromer. Killed himself with it. Killed himself twice, so that's gone from 5-1 to 3-1 very quickly with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left to play. But yeah, Dromer seems to lose his cool a little bit when he has to go on the ultra-aggressive like that. He's able to do some very nice mid-range fights and kind of just lay in with the LG and railgun, but close range he loses a little bit, and he just lost out on that Mega. RVG right around the corner, blam, no damage taken by RVG as he pulls together that frag. Question is, where's the fight for red armor going to play out? It's actually going to be fairly unaggressive for Dromer. He's actually breaking off this time, knowing that he has to be the one kind of playing the rest of the map while RVG is trying to run the items. And there's that window of opportunity where you go, okay, yeah, I can give up a Mega, I can give up a red armor if it means that I can have the greens and the yellow. You know, sometimes you have to kind of make that play, and more importantly, once you do make that play, you have to get the first hit in. It is absolutely necessary. Or, you know, have RVG miss everything at that point. So here, we have a few seconds of delay on the red armor so that RVG can pick it up, but no real retaliation from Dromer. So we're coming to the point in the map where Dromer needs to start throwing some attacks in front of RBG to slow him down. Back up through to the top of the map through the teleporter. RBG's looking for a little bit of damage, but he's not going all that aggressive on it right now. He wants to be the guy to get the drop on Dromer and not have it be the other way around. So there's the frag, taking away the yellow armor as well. RBG has brought this thing within one frag with 5 minutes left to go. Red armor's a clean pickup, and again, Dromer being on the top of the map with no real weapons or stack to bring to that fight, it wasn't going to be, you know, very different from that situation. 3 seconds to Mega. RBG's in a great place for it. And actually, he can bait it out for just a second if he wants to. But again, Dromer's not going to be anywhere near there. We can hear him just fine. But RBG is wanting to get that initial hit. He's going to get it with rockets, getting the bearing down on him, but chases it right into red armor. That's going to be a clean steal, but it's not going to be a clean break. Dromer's taken down, but that fight did a lot more damage against RBG than it probably could have otherwise. And so RBG needs to be very, very effective right now in order to just not die. I mean, getting that frag was cool. Being left with 40 health was not cool. So he needs to be the one kind of pulling back, grabbing some 25s, grabbing some green armors, and making sure that he doesn't lose everything that he's fought so hard for. Because, let's face it, Dromer's only one frag behind. Dromer gets away with that. A little bit better than he could have. But still, this damage being traded is not going to be working out for him all that well. Dromer's actually sitting at 55 health at the moment. 1 second to red armor, and again, RBG misses it just by a second. He's able to get the EB off just in time to make sure that that fight isn't a complete waste, but still, Dromer still has quite a bit more health to work with than he did a few seconds ago. And he's in it to make the hits happen. Even with that mega health grab, RBG cannot be very well off. Okay, so finally with the yellow armor, he's looking a bit better. Good hits by RBG. In fact, let me take a look at stats here. Damage given by RBG, 2358 and 2625 done by Dromer. So Dromer's actually doing more damage right now, but right now it's the armor and mega grabs. Actually, it looks like armor specifically that is really keeping RBG in this thing. Nice. So 3 minutes, make that 4 frags to play. And again, Dromer's kind of losing his cool in the final innings here. RBG is fully loaded up. Next major item to play for is actually going to be Mega Health, but that's coming up at the same time as Yellow Armor, so if Dromer doesn't have anything... Yep, good read by RBG, wanting to do a little bit of damage. The way this map is set up, you can actually push from Mega as it's coming up, and just kind of poke out to Yellow Armor, see what your opponent is doing, and make him hurt for that Yellow Armor just a little bit. I really do appreciate it when maps allow you that option to, you know, just punish your opponent that much more. But it was a very effective play by RBG. It wasn't a ton of damage, but it was very effective at keeping Dromer's head down. So red armor coming up in 2 seconds, and RBG needs to be in a better spot here. Like, yeah, LG and a potential rail as Dromer's going down, but that still allows him to get the grab itself without, you know, hurting too much. So now Dromer's back in this thing. I'm actually going to switch my camera over to him. He's got to be the one to make up these 4 frags in 2 minutes. I don't like the math. I'm sure Dromer doesn't either. But down below, it's going to be very difficult to bring the fight to RBG. In fact, RBG doubles back up on top there. Does not want to give up that fight so easily. Another red armor for Dromer, but RBG's holding on to the high ground. He's doing the right thing here. He's not making this an easy fight for Dromer to bring to him. I'm never really a fan of turtling, especially with, you know, more than a minute left to go. But on this map, it's definitely applicable. Ow, nice hit by RBG. And that's the really key thing. If RBG was trying to turtle up, but he wasn't throwing out those grenades, he wasn't throwing out those rockets or rails, his game would be in complete shambles right now. But he's doing enough damage to make Dromer think about something other than just plus forwarding against, you know, the item or himself. So 1 minute left. Dromer's actually not moving at this point. Is he calling an early GG? God, my aim this game. Well, actually, he's got 40% railgun, 38% now, 49% rocket launcher, 20% LG, 11% grenade launcher. So, not horrible. And actually, I still believe he's done Okay, well, not anymore, but for quite a long time, he was actually the one doing more damage to RVG. And that has, of course, swapped now. RVG has done 30-43, and Dromer's done 28-20. So 18 seconds left, and this is essentially going to be GG. Dromer is going to be knocked down to the lower bracket, but again, this is going to be double elimination throughout the entire day. So buckle in for the long haul, because we're going to be covering a ton of games here on levelupyourgame.net. But yeah, that's going to be GG's. Again, a great game by Dromer, but he missed a lot of opportunities. So there we have it. RVG moving forward. I'm going to be taking a look at the brackets myself. You can follow along. In fact, I might be able to get this link pasted out to IRC just to be gentlemanly like that.